Holy shit. Holy shit. We are 2 weeks from the 2024 NFL draft. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be shitting bricks because the Vikings are damn near going to be on the clock. Welcome to Horned Up. What the hell? That's not Onebar next to me. That is the princess of positivity, the Viking therapist, the Khaleesi of the Horny Army. It is Miss Alissa S. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Well, thanks for having me. That was quite the welcome. I appreciate it. I feel honored to be here. I've got some shoes to fill with Onebar, obviously, who's irreplaceable. And then Vikings Funeral, who killed it on Tuesday. So good job to you. I wanted to shout you out right away, Vikings Funeral. I don't know if you're in the house yet. But yeah, thanks for having me. 2 weeks away from draft. Let's go.
So it's not just a draft either. This is like a decade-defining draft for the Minnesota Vikings to do something they've never done before. Trade up, get that quarterback of the future. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I think we are all on the same page.
Yep, it's happening. This is historic. We have never done this before. And like we were just chatting about, had no idea Kwesi was having a press conference today, and he just solidified my thoughts that he's ready to risk what it takes to get our guy. So it's pretty exciting.
Hell yes. We got Nystrom in the house, Mason M, Knack, Yogi is here, Ted frickin' Morrison, and our friend. We don't call him Dustin Roberts. We call him Dusty Ray. Vossman is in the house with a cold beer in hand. Me as well.
Cheers.
Renee Lamore says, hi, Lupagus. Hi, Renee. We think we do that every single week. One of my favorite parts of the show. Oh, and also, hi, Alissa.
Hi, Renee.
Congrats. He is looking much better tonight.
Wow. Yeah.
Gary Olson scored a bit more. Look at it. We're getting a lot of Onebar looks better tonight. Michael Blackie in the house. One of the most handsome men. Yeah. It's definitely well-deserved. All Day Ed, love the channel. We love you, All Day Ed. Hell yes, thanks for jumping in. Ellis Gregor just got himself a beer. It's probably some really, really strong IPA that'll put hair on your balls. Football Junkie is currently working. My apprentice sucks and doesn't want to work for shit. And by apprentice, I mean 6-year-old son.
Oh.
That was a turn. That was almost like an M. Night Shyamalan kind of a twist there at the end of that comment. I was not ready for that.
I wasn't either. I was like, where is this going? And I feel that. I have a 4 and a 3-year-old right now. And so I just want to warn everyone, they are down in the basement with dad, but they might be running on up at any point. So just
great.
You'll
Nothing worse than having kids on the show.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful, guys.
We got another Onebar's Never Looked So Good. That has been a very common theme. Nystrom is scared. He wants to know, where is Onebar? I don't know. I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. Very concerned.
He's on an island somewhere.
Armsy's having one of them cannabis-infused waters right now.
Ooh,
that sounds delicious.
What kind, I wonder? Those are pretty yummy.
I like the one that's the half and half one, like the Arnie Palmer flavored. Ooh. Trail Magic? I think it's Trail Magic.
Oh, okay, I haven't had those. That sounds good.
You should try it. You should try it. Onebar is serving time for being too close to a school. Yes, he did break his what is that called? Order? When you can't restraining order, right?
Restraining order? Order of
Yeah, something like that. You're the therapist, counselor. You should know that shit, right? Those
I should know that. Yeah, I should. I don't know it all.
Skinny Bright says, "Skull baby, skull baby." Oh, look at Viking Funeral. Hey, he's here. He probably missed the shout out you gave him. She was so nervous because you set the bar so high, Viking Funeral.
You killed it, Viking Funeral. Awesome job.
Yeah, he did all right. Ashley says, "What up, all? Smash that like button." Shocker.
Woo.
Shocker that she's saying that. That is her job. That is what we pay her to do.
Does it well.
Tell people to hit the like button.
She does it well.
We don't care. Climbing kites, hot batch. Oh, that's what he's drinking. I thought he just.
Oh, I was like, hot batch. What is that?
I don't want to see Harmsy's hot batch anytime soon. Anytime soon. That's for sure. Got a hell of a show. We got Thor Nystrom coming on very shortly. He's going to kick things off here. for us. He's already been sent the link, so hopefully he comes on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just pretend I'm him. Let's see. We took more time off work for the draft than did for Chris. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's getting to the point where I feel like the draft should probably be a national holiday.
Yeah. I actually ended up taking off. I took off Friday, and then last week I'm like, I'm just going to take off Thursday too. So I just took it both off. So I'm ready. I knew I wasn't going to be able to focus on Thursday. So I'm ready.
Yeah, I've tried it. I've tried working on draft day, and it's so damn hard.
It doesn't work.
You can't. One of my favorites, I remember back in you're probably too young to remember this, 2012, the Matt Khalil, Morris Claiborne, like that discussion, debate was going back and forth the whole damn draft day. And like, I'm sitting there at work, I just kept sitting on the computer refreshing. Like I didn't know what the hell was going on. So it was fun though. It was fun watching that.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't read that comment before I put it up. It's not true. It's not true. Mark Johnson is drinking a hazy bluff from Potosi, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Also,
yummy.
Probably sucking at pickleball right now as well. Remember eye candy on a Packer show tonight. Onebar, I don't know. He said he was going in the woods. He hasn't come out yet. All right, we're 6:06. Let's actually, before we get into Thor, let's start a little bit here. One thing I want to talk about quickly, and I think it's relevant, but the NFL is now allowing a third helmet option. You think it's going to happen, Miss Alissa? Are we going to see the total whiteout this year?
I sure hope so. I shared a picture that I had saw of a white helmet with the purple horns in it, with the white jerseys. Oh my God, it looked so good. That I would love if we did that. It makes sense because right now the white, all white for whiteout with the purple helmets, it just doesn't work. It throws everything off. It's not a true whiteout.
Weird.
It's weird.
Why do they have purple heads or purple helmets? And oh my God! Look, first of all, we got a comment from Onebar. Best show I've ever seen. I hope Onebar never comes on the show again. Onebar. I agree 100% with that. Michael Blackie, thank you so much. You
gotta go downstairs, buddy. I told you that would happen.
That's all right. Look at Mark Johnson's like, who is Onebar? He doesn't even remember him being here. They said it won't take effect till 2020. Oh, the new helmets? Yeah, but maybe it is. I mean, why have a whiteout if your helmet's purple? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, no. I think that would be awesome if they do that.
I guess Tim Voss doesn't have electricity. Everybody, if we can start a GoFundMe for Tim Voss, that would be very nice.
Essentially, electricity.
Pay your bill, Voss, man. That's all you got to
do. Oh, no.
Yep. Mason M is not a McCarthy hater by any means, but if we give 3 firsts for him, I will be very upset. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing too. Like, I think there's so much with him. In fact, he hasn't done it. That's where I have a hard time, like, giving up that much for him. But we'll talk about it. Before Thor comes on, one more thing we should maybe touch on. We got Jordan Addison has been working out with Stephon Diggs. How do you guys feel about Jordan Addison working out with Stephon Diggs? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Curious what you guys think in the comments real quick. Lord Duncan for that. Oh, wait, where is he? Lord Duncan gifting one bar and Lupagus membership to, I don't know who he gave it to yet.
Ooh.
Thank you, Lord Duncan. Very generous of you.
Very nice.
Nisberg is okay with those two working out together. Skull Mafia always knew. It's like Scooby-Doo when that fucking guy pulls out the mask. Like, holy shit, that was a really good mask.
Ooh.
Miss, are you worried at all with Addison working out with Stephon Diggs? Like,
that was surprising. That was surprising to me. But again, they both are from. Are they from Maryland or something? That's why they're both from there. Is that why they were? I don't know. I saw something of why they were, but. Yeah, interesting for sure. I don't know what to think of it.
Well, I got 2 takes on. Number one, like I'm happy he's working with. Stephon Diggs is a damn good receiver. He's one of the most talented receivers in the NFL. If I'm Jordan Addison, I'm picking his brain. I'm going to do what he does as far as he keeps his body in shape. Yeah. He knows routes. Anything I can learn from him, I'm going to get. The concern is like John Carlin just says, Diggs is a cancer. Like.
Toxic, yeah.
Is he going to get in his ear a little bit? Is he going to start saying shit to him? But again, I don't think diva-ishness is like herpes. I don't think it's super contagious. Like, I don't think you can get it if you have an open cut on your arm and you sit in the same toilet seat. I don't think that applies, but I'm going to nerd out here for a second. This kind of reminds me of, like, are you a Star Wars fan at all?
Not.
I'm just saying, like, you got Anakin Skywalker hanging out with Palpatine, and, like, I feel like it could be a bad influence if he starts getting into contract details, but overall, I think it's fine. I don't think he's going to turn him bad.
No, let's hope.
And I actually like it for the most part. Like, I want him with a great receiver. Like, I didn't turn Adam Thielen into some fucking diva. I mean, his wife had some diva-ish behavior there at the end, but Thielen never really did. So I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
For the most part, I think this is a positive.
Yeah.
Definitely a positive when it comes. And I like it. I mean, Jordan Addison, if I'm him, I'm getting around as much talent as I can, sucking that a sponge. Yeah. He's still young.
He looked good too, running. He looked built. He looked like I wouldn't have noticed it was him unless people said that that's Addison running up that hill. I'm like, good for him. He's looking good.
Oh, well, Michael Blackie says you don't like Star Wars. You are fired.
I'm sorry. I didn't say I don't like it. I'm not. I mean, I've seen some of them, but I'm not a huge super fan.
We'll talk about it after the show. In the meantime, I see someone backstage here. Oh, there it is. Thor Nystrom. How are you doing, man? We got Thor Nystrom, draft analyst from Fantasy Pros, and also apparently one of the most damn accurate draft analysts out there. Top 5 with 100.
Congrats, by the way. That is so amazing. Like, holy
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And it's good to be with you. Yeah, that was really cool to see. But yeah, thanks for the intro and good to be with you.
Yeah, you're even more striking in person than I could ever imagine.
Look at him. Beautiful.
Okay, you guys are gonna make me blush.
Well, hell yeah. So first thing I want to ask, because I mean, honestly, dude, you were the one who got this JJ McCarthy positivity ball rolling. Like, you came out there, I think it was Score North, and you just went on this rant. It was powerful. It was moving. It was one of the best speeches I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. And you kind of got this JJ McCarthy thing going. So can you kind of refresh that and maybe go over that again, why you like him so much or why you were just on his side?
Yeah, I mean, just, speaking to how that even came about, you come into the process and you look at some of these draft boards that were out there, and they had JJ on a lot of these things ranked as a late second round pick. Well, I knew that was wrong. I watched a lot of Michigan last year. JJ McCarthy made me a lot of money. I had tickets on Michigan to win the national title and to make the playoffs and to win the Big Ten, yada, yada. Therefore, I had a financial incentive to check it on Michigan quite a bit. And at the beginning of the season, it wasn't too dissimilar to some of the criticisms from the year before, which is where these people were basing their opinions on. And that was, there was some more rawness there and sticking on the first read. And every now and again, you would see a wonky decision. But as the season went on, and particularly in the latter half when they were playing destructive defenses every single week, Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, Alabama, Washington at least had a top 50 defense, but he's certainly a big spot. He was ripping them up. He just was. The only reason that Michigan beat Alabama to send Nick Saban into retirement, losing his last game as opposed to winning an 8th national title, because of JJ McCarthy. He single-handedly brought that team back at the end of that game and made some absolutely incredible plays. The one where they threw it back to him, and then he had to jump up and catch the ball with one hand, pirouette around as a dude is about to blast him and get a pass off downfield, and he completed it to Roman Wilson. Just one example. He was just fabulous down the stretch. And then the recruiting pedigree speaks to the athleticism. He had the 6th fastest 3-cone time at the NFL Combine, regardless of position, despite weighing in 17 pounds heavier than his Michigan bio, to also check the box of the size concerns with him, 6'2.5", 219. Also, he, in terms of the arm strength, finished 1 mile per hour under the record max velocity throw at the NFL Combine. You see on tape both the athleticism and the arm strength, and the thing to think about with him that makes the projection scary, where he could become a menace at the next level, is he's the rare guy where those two things work in conjunction with one another on the field. what you see a lot of is a quarterback who is athletic and has a good arm, but they don't work together. Joe Milton would be an example of this. In some ways, Jaden Daniels is. I'd like him in the pocket. Like it's waiting. And now he's gotten way better at going through the progressions. But when he tucks the ball, the defense knows he's running. Like Jaden Daniels doesn't scramble around behind the line of scrimmage to buy more time and then throw it on the perimeter. Like he's not that dude. He's not changing the thing. If he's throwing it, it's with the feet set, whatever. But McCarthy, not only can he do this, he doesn't lose any accuracy whatsoever when he's on the move. Like last year was the route completion percentage in the aggregate was 72% and change. While he was scrambling, 71% and change. There was a 1% differential between the two, which is insane. That's unheard of. The other thing I'd say about him, there's a bunch of intangible things. And a lot of times when people start talking about intangibles with draft prospects, I, as someone who does this, roll my eyes because a lot of times you're just dealing in generalities, things that don't manifest on the field. With McCarthy, there's a couple that do. Like you guys have heard, like he's a super tough kid. Well, I can tell you a little nuance about his film that speaks to that. That's very rare. And I have to watch all these quarterbacks every, spring. I get into the cut-ups of them. I cover in my job. I cover college football, but then in the spring, I watch the cut-ups of the dudes where it's like play. And so you see a lot of commonalities between prospects of various positions. One thing with quarterback play that is extremely rare, you almost never see it in college, and even in the NFL, it is rare, is the dude who does not fade away or brace when he's about to get blasted. Almost everybody does in some way, right? There will be a slight contortion of the body, or they'll bring up an arm to try to brace it, or the more common thing is like fading back, right? I don't want to shoot any strays at Drake May's way, but he is a big time fade back guy. Instead of taking that full shot, stepping into it, he's doing the opposite. JJ McCarthy eats the shot on the chin every time. Every time. I did not see one occurrence of him shirking away from contact in that moment. Why does this? It's not being a hero. It's the manifestation is his mechanics are playing up to the hilt every single time because he is doing the full extension on the step and then stepping into the thing and then throwing, even when, like I said, the guy, he's looking right down the gun barrel. He knows he's about to get smoked. He don't care. He'll get right back up. And he's talked about how like his hockey background in part is, is some of the reasoning for that, having to take the shots, bounce right back up. But yeah, lots to like about JJ McCarthy, the accuracy, the arm, the pedigree. A current sitting NFL head coach believes he is the best player in this draft. And that was the guy that JJ McCarthy won a national title for last season as a 20-year-old true junior. Yeah, he was undersold coming in, and he is going to be a hell of an NFL player.
I think this sums it up right here. You got everybody convinced on JJ McCarthy right now. So, like, I talked to a lot of draft analysts. Do you put grades on people? Like, I mean, where is I've seen people say positive things with JJ McCarthy, but like, well, he's ranked 55 on my board. Where do you have him actually ranked? I'm curious to see that.
Top 3 overall.
You do. All right. Top 3 overall. So, do you feel like right now is he the pick for the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, that depends on other factors, right? Like it's going to depend on which team are they getting the trade up with.
Yeah.
The thing that I do buy is McCarthy and May. Like that's the thing I totally buy because those two guys are really, really good fits for O'Connell's offense. Whereas Jaden Daniels, like I like Jaden Daniels a whole lot as a prospect, but there would have to be a lot of modifications to KOC's system. And then a lot of work with Jaden, in order to facilitate that. And I'm just not sure that's, what they would want to do, especially for a guy with an advanced age. It's just not the kind of offense that the Shanahans or the O'Connells, the McVays that they run. So I would be surprised by that, but I do buy that. Do I know who's number 1 on the Vikings board between those guys? Nobody does. They ain't going to tell us, but I mean, you can certainly read the tea leaves. And that was a part of the reason that I knew they would be interested in McCarthy because he's a perfect fit for that offense.
Nice. Chances the Vikings trade up. I mean, is it a given? What are you thinking at this point?
I don't think it's not a fixed outcome, but it's super probable. They certainly have the assets, and they seem to have the desire. And then Kwesi is put, like, even today he he said the thing about, like, the wrist thing. That's exactly right. Yeah. Which seemed to be strongly insinuating we're about to do something that some people could perceive as risky.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, why else do you say it? So, I mean, I would put, if I'd put the odds, I'd say 90%. I do think there's a 1 in 10 chance that they get boxed out. That would be the scenario where it's, quarterback. Then at 4, Arizona's like, it would be great to have, multiple first-round picks, but, like, we're going to need way more than that to pass on Harrison Jr. And then the Vikings are like, no, we're not going to do that. And then the Chargers, it becomes a similar thing with Joe Alt. Because Harbaugh loves the offensive line, and Joe Alt's a friggin' stud. And then that's the scenario where JJ falls to, or Drake May, depending on who QB4 is, would drop to the Giants. I buy the smoke that the Giants take QB4 at that point. I don't think they're bluffing.
No.
Yeah, that worries me too. I mean, even the Cardinals moving back to 6, like, they can still get neighbors. So it's like, that's what I hate. I mean, back to 11, they're not going to get a top receiver. So definitely concerning. How about a name, just to throw it out there, 108? I mean, we talk about the 4th round this year more than we do any other year because we just don't have a pick until then. Give us some names that you would love to see the Vikings get at 108.
Well, one of the scenarios is taking an offensive lineman there. This offensive line class is really good. People have heard about that at the top, particularly at tackle. But I think that there's a shot that an interior guy will be available at the 4th round pick that could come in and steal a job right away. Where then, instead of it being Brendel and Ingram, and then bookending Garrett Bradbury, we've seen stuff like that before. Then it would be Brendel and Ingram ostensibly fighting for one job, and now you have depth, right? Yeah. The value I think would be there at that point. One of those guards who's good is going to fall. There's been a thought that it could be Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe was awesome in college, and he's huge, and he's a road grader, and he's a two-way guy. But he has one issue with him that some NFL teams find negating. And in situations like that, sometimes the guys fall down. He got super short arms. Yep. And the NFL cares about that because the way that coaches see it is the guy, it's like why we see the reach on UFC, and it's like this guy against this guy and they show the reach because the guy who has a longer reach gets to dictate the dance every time. So you got to be pretty damn good to not have, be at a disadvantage in terms of that, but then beat the NFL guy across from you every single snap, which is what you're asking a starting guard in the NFL to do. So he could fall. Christian Mahogany of Boston College would be another guy. Yeah, that's a good athlete that I think would be a fit there that I could see potentially falling. He was snake bitten at the end of his career with some injuries and also submarined in a really bad situation at Boston College these last couple of years. For those reasons, he might fall down a little bit, but that position I would probably be monitoring closer than maybe some other people out there. Bo Limmer is another guy I like from Arkansas. He was a starting guard for 2.5 years prior to last year. Then he switched inside to center. He's an awesome athlete. He is big. He's rangy. And he proved that he could do both in the SEC. So you get 3 position versatility there. That'd be another guy to look at. But, of course, if, talking about offensive line, if not, you're looking at the defensive front or else cornerback. I think it would probably have to come from one of those buckets.
Nice. One other thing I want to ask you about. Here's the question. So there's a lot of good cornerbacks in this draft. Like, I mean, you could look at Kalen King, Kyrie Jackson, Cam Hart. Any chance the Vikings go corner with one of those 4th round picks?
For sure. Yeah. I would love for there to be a year coming up where they can actually address it with because they've been trying to with a bunch of these half measures and it's like year after year and it's not going the best. But yeah, I mean, like the cornerback, you're gonna, some of these names you're tossing out, like you either at that point of the draft, you're either at that position, you're either going to have to swing on the upside of a guy and then hope and pray, basically a 2-round discounted version of what they did with Andrew Booth, or else you have to go with the cap ceiling guy. That's like, I know he's going to stick on the roster, but like he's never going to be a standout. That would probably be closer to like the Caleb Evans thing.
Mhm.
I would love to get. I want to shut down corner in Minnesota again. It's been a while.
Need it.
But it's
been a
not
long
going to
time.
happen this offseason. Maybe next one. But yeah, to your point, like I could definitely see a corner there. You would get better value at that point if you took a slot guy. But are they going to be able to drive that with Murphy full time? Like I'm not really sure. So, but yeah, I mean, you could look around. So, some of the names that I would be interested in there, I like Cam Hart. I like Cam Hart a lot. I think he gets undersold. 6'3", 204, 90th percentile athlete, and was tremendous last year for Notre Dame. To me, he was really good at the Senior Bowl too. Yeah. I remember one rep, he stayed in the hip pocket of Jacob Cowing, who's like this little squirty jitterbug kind of a guy. Cam Hart's movement is better than he's been given credit for. So if he was there in the 4th round, I'd absolutely consider that. I have him cornerback 10. Jackson, I have 13. He's got the size for sure. That's 6'3.5". Yeah, I mean that's what you get with him, but he's not quite as good of a mover as Cam Hart. A couple other names I toss out. I like Max Melton from Rutgers. He's my number 11 one. Renardo Green maybe from Florida State, although that's another slot guy, probably. But he's a good player. So those would just be some names I toss out.
Absolutely. All right, Thor, I know you got to get going. I know you got to return videotapes. We appreciate you hopping on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely go give him a follow at Thorku. Man, we appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on, dude.
You're the best. Thanks, Thor.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. We'll do it again.
See you later.
Yeah, we will. Hell yeah, we will. All right, let me get back to this. Is what we were doing. All right, hell yeah. All right, Thor again. That was fantastic. Thor Nystrom, everybody.
He hypes
Go hit him up. Dude, he gets so fired up. That JJ McCarthy rant, like he should do like some kind of voiceover for JJ McCarthy, like a hype video for him to get drafted.
Oh, he totally should. That would be amazing.
He loves him so much. And it's like, I don't know. JJ is so weird to me because like I like Drake May better, but I'd also be sad if we don't get JJ McCarthy at the same time.
I know.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. And I flip-flop. I keep saying I flip-flop every week if it's JJ or Drake May. And I'm back to JJ McCarthy this week. And I just have this weird feeling that he's going to succeed big time in the NFL. And he's got that. I know people sometimes hate when you say he's a winner. He's got the winner mentality. But that's a big thing. He has what it takes to be like one of the greats. And I'm just convinced. So I guess that's like mark my words kind of thing. But JJ's got it. He
does got it where it counts. That's for damn sure. Let's jump into some Vikings recent draft rumors and buzz. And this actually turned out to be quite the day of Vikings scuttlebutt, a word I like to say a lot. So Kwesi had this random press conference, which I don't know why you hold a press conference 2 weeks from the draft, but he did. And there's a couple notable quotes here. I grabbed a couple. Here's one he said: just because something is risky doesn't mean you're scared of it. It's uncertain, and we've got to take our swing, but that doesn't give us any pause. What does that mean to you, Miss Alissa Khaleesi of the Horny Army?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Skolisi. That makes more sense.
Skolisi. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, that we were texting, and I was like, that made me gasp. Like, it's obvious he's trading up. I mean, we're trading up. Like, we're going to try. We're going to do our best. And I've always thought that was the plan, like to trade up to 3. If not 3, then it's going to be 5. But it just feels that just convinces me even more that that is what the plan is. They know they have a guy. They have done their due diligence on all these quarterbacks. And you just know they have ideas in mind of who they want, where they want it, and they're not afraid to give it up to get who we need. And so that solidified it for me.
I don't really think they're afraid. I think they almost have to. Like, I feel like he almost has to do this. Like, he got rid of Kirk Cousins. You got to make this big splashy move. What you mean, Draft Day, the movie? What does he say? People pay to get wet. People pay to get wet. And this is definitely a move that will get every Viking fan wet.
Agreed.
That guy Rock says, fuck it, I'm out on May after hearing Thor talk about JJ.
I knew that Thor was gonna bring some more JJ lovers into this. I was like, Thor, you need to come and enlighten people and just give them the truth about JJ because you know he's got some things.
He definitely does have some things. Here's another quote from Kwesi today, and I actually heard Onebar say something very similar back in high school. Multiple guys we're in love with, and multiple guys we're in love with at a certain value. So this kind of goes back, and you look at all these guys they've met with. I mean, you look at now Jaden Daniels next week, but obviously Drake May. They had the sleepover, 3-day sleepover with JJ McCarthy. They went out west. I'm sorry, I suck at geography. Met with Michael Penix Jr. and apparently Bo Nix. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So they have these different guys, and he also says a certain value. So every prospect must be rated at a certain range. This is kind of telling too, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. The other thing that I was like, holy cow, is today Kwesi said they've been scouting these guys for 2 years now. Like that was it, right? 2 years. And so, yeah, they've got their list. They know. And I think just meeting with them and figuring it out if it's going to be a good fit, that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, and the certain value to me is super telling. Like, what is the value of JJ McCarthy? Yeah, is it top 5? Is it 3? Is it 2? Is it 6? Is it maybe you wait and see if he makes to 11, then we'll take him? Is that what the value is on McCarthy? I don't think it is. I think maybe it's a little bit higher. What's the value of Michael Penix Jr.? Is it 23? Is it trade back up, get him later? What is the value? That to me is very interesting as well. And I also think this is telling. As you know. I think this actually applies to quarterback, but also it also isn't super revealing. Like it's telling without being super revealing. Like multiple guys we're in love with at certain values. So that gives you a huge range to work with. I mean, that can even go in the second round. So I know we don't have a second round pick. Doesn't mean we're not going to pick there. You can move down. You got 2 first round picks. Those things can be changed and slid around. So yeah, it's interesting. And Kwesi, the dude is just such a smooth talker, right?
He's so good. Yeah.
He should have his own ASMR channel.
Yeah, he totally should. He knows exactly what to say and how to say it. Yeah.
He'd be so good at tapping things. JJ feels like a date your daughter Baker Mayfield. I don't even know what that means, our MR33. Do you know what that means?
Date your daughter Baker Mayfield.
I guess this was a compliment.
I don't.
That damn kid is back on the escalator again. Wait, we got a question by Lord Duncan. Miss Alissa going to do the promo for Happiness Hair Trimmer.
Would you like me to, Lord Duncan?
I don't know. That's very. I didn't really read that full thing before I put it up, so I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, Lord Duncan.
But speaking of Lord Duncan, he has submitted his video. Matamida submitted his draft video. If you guys have not yet submitted your draft picks video to onebarlupagus@gmail.com, be sure to do that. April 20th is the cutoff, is the deadline. We're putting that video together. It's a draft day tradition like no other. So hell yes. So another news nugget that came out today, Vikings are finally working out Jaden Daniels. Miss Alissa tells me it's next Thursday, and then she's like, well, I'm not sure if it's Thursday.
I think so, right?
Video on your intel. Based on what you told me. And so Vikings are finally working out Jaden Daniels. That's the big news, right?
Yeah. And what's crazy is, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? They said Jaden didn't want to meet with the Vikings. And he's going to meet with them a week before the draft now. So that's pretty interesting. So he's still obviously on the Vikings list, which means, is he still a chance for us?
Yeah.
Are the Commanders not sold on him?
Well, when you hear the LSU head coach say he's going to make plays for Washington next year, that kind of makes you think like, okay, shit.
I thought he was off limits. Like, okay.
But shit, I mean, I love Jaden Daniels. Like watching these, he was the one that gave me like the feeling like this guy's got something. Like there's something special about this dude. The way he can take off and make plays with his legs and his anticipation on his throws. Like he lets that thing go before the receiver makes their break. You can't teach that. That's something that's in you.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about Jaden Daniels. I think he will be successful. He's got to cut down those hits he takes. He gets freaking destroyed. He absolutely gets destroyed.
Right.
He's got to add some weight to his frame. Those are some concerns, but every single prospect has concerns. I'm not going to rule out Jaden Daniels being a Viking. It seems like a long shot at this point. I think you got to go 2 to get him. I don't think he makes it to 4. Maybe he gets to 3. I don't know, but I'm glad we're finally working him out. And it's interesting. It's a week before the draft. Like the last taste he's going to get, not that he has any say in his future, but it's going to be with the Minnesota Vikings, which is basically the best spot a young quarterback can land right now.
Yeah. Yep. So that's going to be the last taste in his mouth. So I wonder how that will play out.
I wonder what it'll taste like, to be honest with you.
I was wondering the same thing.
Look at this. MSR says Alissa is made for TV.
Oh.
Wow.
That was sweet.
Wow. That was very nice. That was very nice. Michael Black says, I hope he's not an option. I think he'll be an RG3 tape and will get hurt a lot in the NFL. Damn you. Damn you.
That's
Michael
what I'm
Black.
worried. Oh, Miss Alissa. Miss Alissa and Lupagus show. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what it is. Sorry, Onebar. I'm taking your spot.
It sounds like we got a new host of the show. All right. So, and Kevin Seifert put it at 50%. This was ESPN did this big thing about every team's latest draft buzz. It was an article today. And Kevin Seifert said, Vikings, 50% they trade up. 50%? That seems
50.
low to me.
That's what? We have a 50-50 chance? Okay. Well, the speculation, I don't know. That's low. That's low. I don't think that's right. A couple weeks ago, I think I was at 75%. Sorry, my dog is coughing up a lung over there.
That was really gross.
It was really gross. What the hell is going on?
Gross.
Yeah. I was at 75%. And now, I mean, after Kwesi, I'm still there. I'm still at 75%. We trade up.
After listening to Thor ramble about McCarthy, I'm 100% over trading up.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I'm 100% too.
I know the 50% seems just even for someone in the know, it kind of scares me because I'm like, shit, this guy should know more.
He's 50%. Just playing dumb. He's playing
so
dumb.
Fucking,
yeah.
Well, Viking Funeral says, "Don't believe anything you bear right now." I don't know what that means, but I like it. I
agree.
Look at no one knows Onebar. He's like, Onebar? Who's Onebar? He don't know. Diggler says, peace out, ginger boy.
Oh no.
You got time for gingers on this show.
I'm sorry, Onebar.
Oh, turns out it was don't believe anything you hear right now. Just kidding, Viking Funeral. I'm playing with you. So another new nugget that came out. I saw this last night. I didn't see this before. Maybe I missed it. And if I did, I feel like an idiot. But the Vikings worked out Bo Nix like a week ago, and it sounds like it was around the same time they went out west to work out Michael Penix Jr. So curious on your take on that, Miss Alissa. Like, does this kind of we were kind of like, okay, holy shit, they sent everybody out to work with Michael Penix. Now you start hearing that maybe they also worked out Bo Nix. So I think that kind of brings down the Penix thing a little bit.
Yeah, that was surprising. And I didn't even see that. So when you said that, I was like, oh, I guess I was out of the loop on that one. But yes, that's a little surprising. Bo Nix is definitely at the way bottom of my list of quarterbacks that I would like. And I would definitely say I don't want Bo Nix. So I don't know. I mean, I guess, again, maybe they're doing their due diligence to check them all out. But to me, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't.
No, you said it right. You said the right word, due diligence. Like now it's just due diligence. Like Michael Penix with due diligence. I thought it was more than that. I thought if they were sending everybody out to just work out Michael Penix, that there's something to that. There's smoke there. There's fire. There's heat there. If you're doing Michael Penix and Bo Nix, which I'm sure they did in the same trip, why would you not? If you're going way the hell out there where the Sasquatches roam, you're gonna fucking work them both out.
True.
It's due diligence. It's due diligence, and they're exploring all options. So
good for them. There we go.
To me, the big takeaway is this: like, it's weird because I think Bo Nix is like he's so polarizing for being like this.
Yeah.
Option. Like people are just like, I hate Bo Nix. I don't hate Bo Nix. I don't hate him.
Yeah.
I don't hate him. And
why do people kind of hate him? Like I'm not even that up to date on Bo Nix because I'm just kind of like, well, people hate him. I don't
it's
know.
Weird. It's so weird. It's absolutely weird. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it really brings down the Michael Penix buzz to me. This is the biggest takeaway from this one. Like I get there. I mean, why would you not work out Bo Nix? Of course you want to work out Bo Nix. Yeah. You have to know every option that's in that first round range. second round range. You have 2 first round picks. You don't know if you're going to be able to trade up. You have to have an idea of everybody who's available.
Yeah.
But we have breaking news from Michael Blackie here.
Oh, breaking news.
Bo Nix sucks a bag of dicks. But we have, shoot this. Miss Alissa, are you there yet? We can't stop this show until Alyssa tops 5K on Twitter. She was a couple away. She was just
like 3 away. I'm at 4,999, you guys.
Come on, who's going to be the one? This is a historic moment on the precipice.
Come on, 5,000. I was going for 5K before draft day.
Let's do 5K right now before 6:41 p.m.
Come on.
4/11/24. Come on.
Miss Alissa S. right there. Get me that follow. I'll give you the shout out.
Sarah, is it going to be you?
I'll give you the shout out.
Oh, my God.
Let's see here.
I love a good cry, Mark Johnston. One time I was really hungover and I watched the movie Real Steel about the fighting robots and I fucking bawled my eyes out.
Wait, what movie? What is that?
Real Steel. There's like this. Hugh Jackman was in it. It's about these fighting robots. Get the kids back on the escalator again.
Sorry, guys.
Scolder Soup says post link. What's your link?
Oh, on Twitter now known as X.
I can't. I'm trying to do it by memory. I can't.
It's at Miss Alissa S.
Charlie Burton just unsubscribed. You got to get 2 now.
Oh, no, Charlie.
I don't know. Because Scolder Soup knows. He knows about Real Steel.
Oh, my goodness.
You can comment, Miss Alissa. What's your, let me get your handle out here.
How do I? My son's looking for his Vikings blankie, so. Oh, Michael Blackie? Is that?
Did you get there?
I got to 5,000. Michael.
Hey, we did it. Michael Blackie.
Michael Blackie, you are my 5,000th person on here. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Viking Funeral catching my reference. Well done. My Mallrats reference. Thank you, Viking Funeral. I want to know what happened with Lord Duncan got banned from Twitter for a while. That to me is very horrifying. We got Kellen87 also subbed. Well done. 5K. That's impressive.
Thank you. I will follow all you guys back. I appreciate that. That's really exciting.
She doesn't even follow me.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes, I follow you.
All right. So here was an interesting, and I think Thor might be on the same page, but at BG Whitefield of Fantasy Points, he has JJ McCarthy ranked as his quarterback 1 of the draft and worthy of being drafted number 1 overall. How nuts is that from BG Whitefield?
That's crazy. Yeah. I was looking at that today, and he's all in on JJ, which is crazy. You know,
he actually said this. He said he's my quarterback 1 in this draft class. I get glimpses of John Elway and Rich Gannon making a love child when I watch his tape. McCarthy is worthy of the first overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Gannon and John Elway, I will fucking take that.
That's crazy. That was awesome. And like I said, JJ's got something.
Kellen87 says if you follow him, you'll be his 10th follower. So we're getting a couple milestones tonight.
I will be your 10th follower. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their opinion, right? And, you know, if we do trade up 3 first-round picks to get J.J. McCarthy, I'm going to like that someone considers him the top quarterback in the draft. That'll make me feel a little bit better.
Right.
That fucking kid is back on the escalator.
I'm so distracted by him. I'm, like, asking my husband, like, can you grab the wild toddler that's running around our home right now? So sorry.
Lord Duncan wants to know what is OF. Lord Duncan, I'm surprised you don't have your own OnlyFans page yet. I would definitely subscribe to that.
OnlyFans. Please make one.
All right, so this was interesting today too. A couple of quotes came out regarding the character of our top 2 options. Our top 2 options are definitely Drake May, JJ McCarthy, right? I mean, everybody agrees with that. That feels like the 2 most likely, right?
Yep.
All right, let's start with what Dane Brugler had to say about JJ McCarthy. This was from a scout, I believe, an NFL scout, which is this time of year you get these NFL scouts. These guys don't want to say their name. But anyway, before JJ McCarthy signed, he was telling other Michigan recruits that if they wanted to party and chase girls, go somewhere else. His class is going to be the one that restored Michigan to have that mentality and then actually go achieve it. He's different. What do you think about that?
That right there just solidified how I feel about JJ McCarthy. And when I try to explain it, I just feel like he has that it factor, that if you want to call it swagger, I don't know what it is, but he has something that just elevates him before some of these other quarterback prospects. And I tweeted out recently, I said, besides Williams, I think JJ is going to be the second most successful quarterback prospect. And I'm sticking to it. I feel there's something there. And just hearing that, like, yeah, he said that, and then he went and achieved that and did it. Like, that's a winner mentality. That's something that I will say our last quarterback did not have. I will say that. Oops. The pressure got to him. Sorry. I don't want to mention his name, but you know what I mean. And I don't
remember who he was.
Yeah, we don't remember, but I will say that's just something that is a quarterback in the NFL has to have. And one of the greats, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, they have that swagger, whatever it is. And
I think the takeaway here too is also like when he said it, like as a recruit, I mean, that's young.
Yeah.
It's a young maturity instilled in you. But there's also Gary Olson's point, which I think is very important. I want a chick chaser like Favre.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Alissa, you might have just got the most handsome follower of all time.
Oh, Adam.
That was for the Kohl's Easter sale 2023. He did that little post there. You can get that shirt for about $28. It's $24 if you have Kohl's coupons. So
Kohl's cash.
Kohl's cash. That's what it fucking is, right?
Well, thank you, Adam. I will follow you all back after the show, I promise.
I don't know if Adam's even on Twitter. I don't think I follow him.
Oh.
Sarah says he's got that dog mentality. Overall, I like this. Like the fact that you're saying that kind of shit, and that shows leadership. That shows like
he stood by it.
And it's not just that. Like, remember the combine when what's his name? The guy who broke the record of setting the fastest 40. Who was the first guy to go over there and high five him? It was JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets excited. Like he genuinely gets excited. Like I don't think it's fake. I don't think he's like pretending to be this guy. Like,
no, it's genuine. It's definitely genuine.
Well, it must be like American Eagle or something. If it's more expensive than.
Oh, a little more expensive than that.
I just wish we had a picture where those other two buttons were opened up a little bit.
Yeah.
So then we also don't just have character on JJ McCarthy. We have character on Drake May. This is Per the Beast by Dane Brugler. Here's what an NFL scout had to say about Drake May. Considering his family's success, I expected a cocky kid, but he's real grounded and humble. The golly gee stuff isn't an act. He'll need time before he's ready to lead an NFL room, but he'll get there. Nice.
And like I said, Drake May, I love him too. Like he's great. He seems like a great kid, genuine, all that. I just think he lacks the confidence, which, he can gain that, I'm sure. He panics under pressure at times. Again, something to work on. But yeah, I love Drake May. I'm all in on that too if we get him.
Yeah, no, I am too. And hearing this, like, it made me feel good. Like, I mean, not any character concerns with any one of these guys. Like, I feel like we're going to get one of these guys. It's going to be Drake May. It's going to be JJ McCarthy. To hear these positive things from scouts about their character. And that's the one thing you can't measure. You can't go to the combine.
Yeah.
And you can't measure someone's heart, someone's determination, someone's character, their integrity. You can't put a number on that. There's no test that's going to show you that. You can't answer questions on a Scantron sheet. If you remember those, for anybody who's that old, and put it through a computer and just show you what that number is going to be. There's something about a dude, and you're not going to get that unless you've been around him. And to hear this, that's kind of huge. And it's a ringing endorsement on two prospects.
Yep.
I feel like one of those two will be a Minnesota Viking.
Totally agree. Those whole time it's been Drake May or JJ McCarthy, and I can see them both as Vikings, and I think that's what it's going to be. I definitely think
they can measure heart anatomically, but they can't do it with the word heart. You know what I mean? Like it's deeper than that. You can't measure whatever. How do you do that? I can only make like a that.
I'm not very good at it either. Oh, what the?
Why are hearts coming out of you? What? Are you a
Am I
fucking wizard?
Am I
Are you
magical?
a wizard?
I'm magical. Look at that. What?
Apparently,
Wow.
I'm on here with a fucking wizard. I'm gonna try to fart on air, see what comes out.
Lupagus, try that. Try it.
I don't. Could I get hearts? Mine looks like a fucking scrotum.
How does that work? Like,
how are you getting hearts? What the fuck? This
What?
is insane.
I guess I'm magic. I'm magic. I'm sorry.
You wish, Ellis Gregor. That'll be for a members only video, which I'm going to do Tales from Draft Day. This one's going to be called Dale and the Purple Horn. And also the Nostra Lupagus will be making an appearance on draft week. So be sure to be a member to watch that. It's going to be something real special. All right. Let's do another segment of, we've done this a couple weeks ago. Is there any help on the roster? Meaning, like, we're looking at the draft, guys who could help us, but is there anybody sitting at these positions who could potentially maybe emerge, like KJ Osborne year 2, who like, holy shit, you rolled him off year 2, he looks great. Is there any help on the roster? We're gonna look at 2 positions tonight, wide receiver and running back. So let's start with wide receiver. Is there any help on the roster? Lord Duncan loves it. Let's start with wide receiver. So obviously we got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Brandon Powell are going to be your probably starters. Mm-hmm. On the bench, you got Trent Sherfield, the free agent signee, N'Keal Harry, Jalen Naylor, Dalen Baldwin, who I think maybe was my 4th grade science teacher, Lucky Jackson, Tristan Jackson, Malik Knowles, and Thayer Thomas. Huh. So, in your guys' opinion, before we even talk about ourselves, any help on the roster here when it comes to wide receiver? Let's see what you guys think. Any of those guys get you a little bit of hope? Let's know. Let's know. What the fuck does that even mean? Let us know if anybody gives you any excitement, any hope. Let's get both Jacksons, says Lord Duncan. we got a no from Dirk Diggler. He says no hand jobs given for that. We got Thayer Thomas from Dan Henneman. Michael Blackie says no hope at all. He just changed his freaking profile pic as well. And he's smiling, but he's also frowning at the same time. How's that possible? You see that?
I see that.
A frown and a smile.
That's impressive.
It's like he's happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah, it's very confusing, but impressive.
Jay Mull says, oh, wait. If Naylor could stay healthy, he could be okay. Malik was good at K-State. Blake Prohl, Ellis Gregor. He's not on a roster anymore. He's doing American Idol. Diggler is a packet spy. I don't know what that means. Who's the YouTube user? Draft Ina Smith. So, Miss Alissa, Scalisi, is there any hope with these guys? Any of these guys give you any kind of, maybe they could be something?
Oh, that's a good question. So yeah, Brandon Powell, like, is it Powell or Powell? Did I just say that wrong?
It's Brandon Powell.
Brandon Powell. He had some flashes. Like he looked
awesome.
Yeah, he did some good things. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm not familiar with Sherfield. I'm not too familiar with him. And then Tristan Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, I think he actually caught a touchdown last year. It was a 2-point conversion. He caught something.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's my take on this. So, like, Sherfield, he is what he is. Like, he is a career wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5. Like, I don't think there's anything beyond that. So he might make the team. He might not make the team. N'Keal Harry was a former first-round pick. Jalen Naylor can't stay healthy. He was a 4th-rounder or 6th-rounder a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Tristan Jackson is a guy who just keeps hanging around. Like, he's like this, like when you keep wiping and they're still brown, and you're like, why is he still here?
Yeah.
And we interviewed Thayer Thomas last year. We like him. So while I think there actually is potential with some of these guys, I don't think none of them stop you from maybe going round 4, round 6, 7, maybe taking 2 receivers. I don't think you stop. Like,
Yeah.
I do think there's some upside here though. Like Harry's the former first round pick. Naylor is showing flashes. Trishan Jackson showing flashes. Thomas, I like. He's shifty. He's quick. He can return punts. So I think there is some potential, but none of these guys are going to stop me from addressing wide receiver on day 3.
I agree with that. Yeah. I don't see anything that stands out to me. I think it needs to be addressed. Totally.
Absolutely. And let's go to running back next. I mean, obviously we got Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler. On the depth behind them is Kenny Nwangwu. Miles Gaskin, I got to apologize because I didn't even realize Miles Gaskin was still on the fucking roster.
I saw that too today, and I was like, wait, what?
I know. I was like, what? And apparently we signed him to a futures contract in January.
I was so confused. I had to look it up again. I'm like, that can't be right. Yeah, that's so weird.
I know. I felt, oh my God, Adam, you sexy son of a bitch. That's what he paid for that shirt he's wearing right now. And you're doing the magic again. How do you do devil horn? See what that does. You get
no, it's like, what else to do? Oh, I should have done that. But
I don't, this is so crazy. This is insane.
Weird.
Adam, God damn it. You
that was nice.
Yeah. So to me, looking at this depth chart, right? Kenny Nwangwu, he's strictly special teams. He's a kick returner. That's what he is. Like I actually feel he has more potential. But I'm at the point now where they're not going to do it. They're not going to try it. They're not going to give him any touches. It's not going to happen.
No.
And Miles Gaskin, he was the Michael Scott snip snap on the roster, off the roster, on the roster, off the roster last year. There's no hope. And Dwayne McBride, honestly, I've never seen a worse preseason player in my life. Like he was running to the hole, turning his body like afraid of contact. Yeah. Why he's on the team? I'll tell you why. Because he was a 7th round draft pick. There's no other reason. Like
no, I think that's we need to address that. That's no.
So Nwangwu, I mean, he's got a chance to stick around just because he is a kick returner, and I think there's going to be more opportunities next year with this new rule. But other than that, like I think you draft a guy, and that guy you draft is probably going to be running back 3.
I agree, completely agree. Yeah, that's a needed position.
Boom. Hell yes. All right. Let's take a little sip here.
Cheers.
KLC likes to throw the ball. Watch Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, Tyrone Tracy. He's like an interesting prospect. They call him a running back, but he's really like a receiver. He's like a Percy Harvin. He can carry the ball. He can catch. He's just a weapon. He's just a weapon. Garendo. Yeah, you're right. I love Isaac Garendo. Big boy. Powerful guy. John Garland's a draft. I'm yelling at random words at this point. I don't know.
We're ready. 2 weeks. I don't know how.
Oh my God, I know. This week went by pretty fast, though. I'm pretty happy with the way this week went by.
It did. And then next week we'll be here. Next Thursday, it'll be 1 week.
Oh, can you imagine?
I can't imagine. What are we gonna do when it's actually draft day? Like, I don't know what
I got my whole day planned out. So
do you? Okay. What's your day?
I'm gonna get a nice 90-minute massage in the morning, and then I'm gonna work out again, and then probably sit around and do nothing.
Hell yeah!
It's just, when I start drinking, that's the question. That's the only question.
I know. When do we start drinking? That is.
I know.
Real question there.
All right, let's look to the past to predict the future. We did this a couple weeks ago. Let's do it again. Top 30 visits. And here's something. I went back and looked. These Vikings that are having all these top 30 visits, and I'm like, okay, how many guys did we actually draft from these visits? You go back to 2022, Eseze Atomweo, and we drafted him. I think it was the 5th round. Kalen Barnes, we didn't draft, but he was a top 30 visit, and we ended up signing him. So we got 2 from 22. All right. 23, we ended up, Jordan Addison was a top 30 visit. Obviously drafted him. Dwayne McBride was a top 30 visit. Mekhi Blackman was a top 30 visit. Kelvin Avery, we signed him as an undrafted free agent. And Henry Bird, who is on our roster, more like Henry Turd, he was also a top 30 visit. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 guys in 2 years, right? So it's not a huge percentage, but I think it's enough to point like, you should pay attention to these guys the Vikings bring in for top 30 visits, because chances are 2 or 3 of them will be on the Vikings, whether it's drafted or at some point later. These guys are going to be Vikings at some point. So pay attention to it, which I think is interesting. And you look at some of these names, right, that the Vikings have brought in. Let's start bottom and work our way up. You're talking late round, Dylan Johnson, running back, Washington, Eric All, tight end, Iowa, McKellen Castles, the tight end from Tennessee. Charles Turner, the center from LSU. Quantez Stigger is this weird cornerback who's never played college football, but was with the Toronto Argonauts. He's been a visit. Josh Cephas, my boy from UTSA, and Blake Watson, this running back from Memphis. So those are the guys I think are like 6th, 7th round undrafted guys who can make this. So those are names to keep an eye on. And then you go maybe mid rounds. You look at a Christian Boyd, a guy who just feels like a Viking to me at this point. That's interesting to me. Michael Hall Jr., if somehow he makes it to the pick 108, I think that's huge. Those are 2 names. And then you look at the top. I mean, it's weird because you got Dallas Turner, you got Quinion Mitchell, Latu, Byron Murphy. So some guys that the Vikings stick and pick could be guys. So definitely some names to keep an eye on and to think about here. I don't think you can just look at the top 30 visits and blow them off. I think some of these guys will be Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. There's some good names on that list.
Well, and too, if you're like sitting here and you're wondering like what Vikings should I watch? I mean, what prospect should I watch? Go off the list. Go off the top 30 list. Go to YouTube. Watch their highlights because good chance at least a handful of those will be Vikings. Hell yes is right from the Scolisi. Here's one thing we haven't actually talked much about. We talk about, trading up in round 1, but what if Kwesi trades up from 108? He's got 2 4th-round picks. I think he might have 2 5th-round picks. He's got a couple 6th, a 7th. What if he packages those and moves up into round 3? Number 1, what do you guys think about that? Do you think Kwesi could package picks to move up into round 3, get our day 2 pick? Will he do it? And maybe give us some names. Who could be that guy? We got Sarah thinking Sweat's going to drop.
I just saw that. I love Sweat. I hope he drops.
God, how fun would he be? It'd be like having Pat Williams back here again.
Yeah, that's one of my faves. And I don't think that's going to happen unless we move up back into 3rd.
No, and I actually thought he could get there. But then I talked to Ryan Roberts, the draft guy from Rise and Draft, and he was like, no, he's going to go. He's going to go round 3.
Nope, he's not going to be there. Yep.
Braden wants Harrison Mevis. I think he's just making up a random name. Yeah, if we got Javondre Sweat, I will be topless when we do the video about drafting him. Guaranteed 100%. No doubt. There will be no shirts worn. Oh, they got Don Hammond does think we will pick on day 2. At least a rookie order tries faster. Okay. We're bringing up that again? Come on, Sarah. Come on. Case over. Hawk's career is over. I don't think it's over, but I don't know, Bob. He might do it. Here we go. We got the Tory Taylor talk starting again. I still want Hunter Norzad. Kicker from Missouri. All right. So here's my thought is this. So will he do it? He could do it. He definitely could do it. Should he do it? I think that's the bigger question. You look at this roster, and I'm going to maybe do some videos on this coming up, but I feel like we're a roster right now that maybe needs just depth. Like we need the picks. I don't think there's a lot of good depth. You look at the O-line, there's just nothing there. Inside linebacker, there's nothing there. I feel like we could probably use all the picks we have. So I'm kind of torn on that. But again, if it's like a Tavondre Sweat,
right,
I'm going to go up and get him.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I feel like, if we can get up and get one of those good ones, then yes. But otherwise, we kind of need those. We need some depth in those areas. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I feel like we're more talent poor this year than we've been in recent years. But some names I threw out there, like if Chris Jenkins, the defensive tackle from Michigan, starts to fall, the dude is super aggressive against the run, probably one of the best run defenders in the draft. If he starts to get like late in the 3rd round, mid-3rd round, I'm thinking about moving up and getting him. He's a dog. That's what we need. We need a fucking dog. Tavondre Sweat, we already talked about. I saw someone mention Christian Mahogany. Hell yes, I'm moving up to get Christian Mahogany. The dude is just solid. We met with him at the East West Shrine or somewhere, maybe Senior Bowl. We met with him. I think he could almost be a day one starter. Mm-hmm. And then Adisa Isaac, the edge from Penn State, we met with him like 2-3 times. If he starts to fall like into the third round, I wouldn't be surprised the Vikings packaged a couple picks and moved up and got him. So I think there is a possibility of that happening, and something maybe we need to get back on our radar, because I think it's something we just haven't talked that much about, really, and it's definitely in the cards.
Yeah, totally.
The hell, someone is making, like, I think your house might be, you guys, is there an earthquake in Duluth right now?
Say hi.
What's up, guys?
What's up? This is Jake. This is Jake Postal.
What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
Real Postal.
The hell, you just have a jackhammer or what?
Someone's got it, right?
I'm right by the
ice
fridge.
maker.
But look at this draft hat.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell. Oh, is that the actual official draft hat?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I like your pajama pants. They're really nice.
Yeah, the big red pants are
Had to
flying
switch,
around.
you know.
Nice.
You guys having fun?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. FT Matty Man says, "Hey Jake, what's up?" All right, so we're getting toward the end of this bad boy, but let's talk about this right now. So we're sitting here. We're at Viking Funeral wants Jake to know this.
Oh, what is
Jake? My wife works with you.
Oh,
The Real Postman.
that's right. Is that Ashley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one always trying to give her routes away to everybody else.
Someone's got it, right?
Oh, I love it.
So we're sitting here. We're April 11th. We're 2 weeks from the draft. You guys have probably all done, mock draft simulators. You probably mocked close to the hundreds. I know personally I have at least that much. Maybe some of you are even more than that. You keep doing this. You keep seeing names, whether you watch YouTube, maybe it's some big name guys. Who are some prospects in your mind that are already, like, you picture them as Minnesota Vikings? Like, you start thinking them already as Minnesota Vikings. Let's see some names in the comments.
Well, I know mine.
Yeah, we all know yours.
JJ McCarthy, baby. He played hockey. He's got that winner mentality, you know.
I could never skate. I couldn't tie my skates tight enough.
No, Jake couldn't either. Jake, no, you couldn't. He tried.
Did you play hockey? Were you a hockey player?
No, he tried. He couldn't do it.
I could play for Team USA, but I couldn't fit the shoes.
Mm-mm.
No, I sucked. Oh. We got Cooper Beebe from Pittsburgh. Mo Kamara. We got Cooper Beebe. Sundell. Ellis Gregor. No one wants your North Dakota State boys. We got Mason McCormick, Blake Corum. Dirk Diggler thinks Blake Corum is already a Minnesota Viking. Ooh. JJ McCarthy says John Carlan. Nobody can have the ball like JJ McCarthy, says Bob Sacamano. And you know what? It's actually a very intricate skill. My cousin is on the cup or on the cusp. I'm not sure which one that means. If it was Gary Balster, his cousin would definitely be on the cusp. We got Hi Ashley from Travis Nitzberg.
Hi Travis. Hi Ashley.
That's T-Man to you, Ashley. May McCarthy will play New England drafts. The other one. Cade Stover is Charlie Boltman's dude. Dallas Turner. John Ross says Dallas Turner is a Minnesota Viking. Braden McCaffrey. Hell yes, Braden. I like your style. We got Cam Hart. Isaiah Davis, the big running back from SDSU. He's a fucking jackrabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Dick says, "What's up, T-Man? What's up, man?" All right, Miss Alissa Scalisi, who is one of your prospects? You already feels like a Viking.
Well, I said JJ. Remember JJ?
Well, I think that's right. Like, I feel like whether you're doing a mock draft or you're watching something with Mel Kiper or some other big name guy, every single one has the Vikings trading up to get who? JJ McCarthy.
JJ, that's mine. That's.
Yep, Knack, that's a great one. Gabe Hall is definitely a great one. I have Drake May. I have JJ McCarthy. I have Drake May as well. Like, I feel it's almost okay. Here's the one. Number one to me is JJ McCarthy. I think it's without doubt. Like, it's JJ McCarthy is the prospect who feels like a Viking right now.
Right.
And I don't think there's any question about it. Like, it's just everywhere you go, it's JJ McCarthy, Minnesota Vikings. If it doesn't happen, I think it's more of a surprise if it does happen, right?
Right. Well, and this is super weird, but like last night, I don't know, I had a dream. I feel like Jaden Daniels, I saw him in a Vikings jersey.
You had a draft dream.
I did have a draft dream.
Yeah.
I kind of weird, but I saw Jaden Daniels in a Vikings jersey. So I don't know.
My draft dreams are always like the Vikings just fucking drafting some random dude no one's ever heard of before. So I got McCarthy, I had Drake May, I got McKinley Jackson. Like I constantly take him. If he's not a Viking, it'll be shocking to me. Cooper Beebe, another one I feel like is always a Minnesota Viking. I saw someone also mention Luke McCaffrey. I always take Luke McCaffrey. Like he's my dude. If he's not a Viking, I'd be more surprised if he's not than if he is. Christian Boyd, the big nose tackle from University of Northern Illinois or Iowa, one of those fucking I states.
Yeah, I can see that.
They met with him 3 times. Like they met with him 3 fucking times. So I think there's some smoke there. And then Hunter Norzad. Hunter Norzad is the other one. I think the guard center from Penn State definitely feels like a Minnesota Viking to me. So those are guys that I'm already just picturing in purple.
Love that. Love that.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got one more segment left. It's Miss Alissa going to do the pendulum of positivity. Before we get that, I'm going to just go grab one more beer real quick. It'll be 2 seconds.
All right. Cheers.
Give me a second.
Let's see what the comments say.
All right. So this is the pendulum of positivity. So Miss Alissa, our Vikings, she's the princess of positivity. She is the one who will talk you off the ledge, calm you down if you're too upset over a game or too excited over a pick or a play, whatever it may be. She is the positivity person when it comes to Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to give her some different scenarios regarding the Vikings and the quarterback situation, right? Because I feel like that's the most that's the big talker this year at the Vikings. Like, we're going to trade up. Are you like, what's going on? Are you having a seizure? Or are your things shaking really bad?
Something's going on. I made things big and now I can't see the screen or anything. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah, you look the same, but you're shaking.
Oh my! I'm like tapping my computer. Hold on, I'm gonna refresh. If I refresh it, it's gonna knock me out.
I don't know. No. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh my God, it did knock her out. God damn it. She'll come back, I think. Sarah wants us to snatch McCarthy out of Peyton's grubby little hands. I think Sarah just wanted to use the word snatch, to be honest with you. It did. It knocked you out.
Gosh, it knocked me out. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Well, you were gone. Sarah said the word snatch.
Oh, Sarah. Snatched McCarthy out of Peyton's grubby little hands.
All right, so we're going to swing this pendulum. It's going to go positive or negative based on what you think, right? And also, I want you to think about this. I used to, one of my buddies in high school used to call his lower part the pendulum. So keep that in mind as well. Odd part, if you took his first name and his last name and you abbreviated his first name, it was P. Ness.
Oh, what?
I know. When we played 6th grade or 7th grade football, that was what is on his helmet. P. Ness.
No. Oh my goodness. Very well. Every time I type the word Penix, it definitely says penis.
I know. I always shouldn't make those. All right. Okay. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Swing that pendulum. Are you ready to swing your pendulum?
I think so.
Don't ever think. Just go for it. All
I'm
right.
nervous.
Here's scenario 1. Vikings trade 11-23, next year's first, next year third, and 108 to get pick 3, and they take quarterback from University of North Carolina, Drake May. How does that pendulum swing?
Oh, that's positive to me. That's a positive trade. If we get Drake May,
how far? I mean, is it like here's the top? Where does it go?
What are we giving up to get him?
What are we giving up?
I just 11-23 next year's first, next year's third, and this year's fourth round pick. So it's that's the Godfather deal.
I need help.
Would you do that for Trevor Lawrence right now?
What?
No.
What?
No, right? I mean, you would have 3 years ago.
Get that pajama wearer back in the basement.
All right.
I told you he's the negative Nancy
No, I'm not.
of this. So, okay. So
Here's I agree. I think it is positive because you're getting your guy, right? If you go to 3, you're picking the guy you want. You have the choice. Like, you're not just settling for whoever's there. You're giving up what you need to do to get your guy. So how did you get a thumbs up to show up now?
did I do that? I don't know. I don't understand. Where did that come from? I went okay, sorry.
Yogi agrees with your husband, but Yogi's probably also wearing pajamas and they're probably
Yogi,
cut off very
Yogi!
short.
What's up, Yogi? I love Yogi.
We all love Yogi, even when you make comments like that.
Oh,
All right.
the best.
Are you ready for scenario 2? Scolisi.
Yes, I'm ready. But that was positive to me. That was positive. Don't you?
I agree. I think that would be positive. I don't
Right.
care. I don't really care about the compensation at this point.
I don't either.
Get the guy you want.
Exactly.
I mean, for Kwesi, it's everything he's got. This is his guy.
This is
all right.
Let's do it.
Scenario 2. Vikings don't or can't trade up. They take Michael Penix Jr. at 11 and Johnny friggin' Newton at 23. Where is that swing on the pendulum of positivity?
No, that's a negative. That's a negative for me.
That goes this way, huh?
That goes the bad negative way. Yep. Yeah.
You
I
can't get used to watching the lefty throw.
I wish that you would just stay out of this. Negative. You know, if that's like plan C for us, right? Like that's
I feel like it's down there.
Yeah, it's down there. And so to me, just feeling like we're gonna trade up, that's what's gonna happen. Like staying and picking at that, sticking and picking, that's negative to me.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like there's a strong group of our viewers and Vikings fans that actually want the Vikings to do this, like to stick and pick, get Penix, get a defensive player who could have a huge impact. Yogi wants your husband on his show, so apparently.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah,
you will. That's fine. Yogi.
I think you're right. When you said this was Plan C, I think this is Plan C. I feel like this is just like settling, and it's not.
It is. It's yes.
Great.
It's,
and I do like Michael Penix, but I feel like this is.
Yes, I should clarify there. Like I'm not anti Penix, but
apparently you have 2 kids who are like a half a year apart.
Yeah. So okay. Good one there. But I just feel at this point that if that happens, I'm going to be disappointed. I am. And then I'm going to be over it and I'll be like, okay, I'm all on Penix train.
That's the other part, right? That's the true part of it. Like we might be upset right away, but then we're going to be on board.
Exactly.
You got to be on board.
Exactly.
You got to be on board.
We're going to be on board no matter what. Yep.
Sarah says, I don't want no guy with that much injury history. Hell no, she says.
I know. Sarah, I am right there with you. That's what's concerning to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But apparently all the medicals are coming back very positive. So last time I was at the doctor, my medicals came back positive as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Even the wart I was concerned about came back positive. All right, scenario 3. Vikings trade up to 5 and do the Mel Kiper deal. 11 and 23 next year's first. They get nothing back, but they draft J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, JJ's my guy. So to me, that's going to be positive.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is positive.
Yeah.
Because you're getting your guy, you're going up, and it's a huge overpay. And I think in reality, I think the Vikings get something back. Whether that's a third this year, maybe a second next year. I think you get something back. You can't give up that much to go up 6 spots to a team that I feel like already wants to move down.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers should move down. The Cardinals should move down. The Patriots should move down. The Commanders should not move down. Those 3 teams should not move down. the Chargers should move down. They have no O-line. They have no receivers.
Yep.
That's the team that should move down. You
Yep.
shouldn't have to overpay. But, again, get your guy.
Yep.
To me, at this point, the compensation doesn't matter.
Exactly. I am totally right there with you. Like, if it's the guy that KOC and Quasi want, that's what we're going to go for. And let's do it.
I agree. All right, we got scenario 4. Some people say scenario, but not me. Vikings stick and pick to end up with Byron Murphy and Jackson Powers Johnson, a powerful center from Oregon. Then in round 3, they package both 4th rounders to move up, and they take quarterback Spencer Rattler.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's an interesting one because yep, those defensive players are totally needed. They would be amazing. Spencer Rattler, to me, is a sleeper quarterback. I would say not completely positive, not completely. I would be neutral with that.
You'd be neutral?
Neutral?
Fuck. I'd hate that so much.
But also,
Tim Boss says he'd rather shove a cactus up his ass.
But leaning, I'm neutral. I mean, Spencer Rattler, he's the one quarterback in this draft that's like a wild card to me.
And I think he's got such a bad rap because he was on that Netflix show and he was kind of a dick and no matter what he does. But I don't want nothing to do with him. Personally.
I don't either. But to me, like he's interesting. I've seen there's been some Vikings fans in my mentions, like all on the Rattler train. And I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. But no,
it's weird.
It's weird. I'm leaning towards neutral negative, because of the Byron Murphy. I love.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just flopping there in the middle from that one. All right, we got one last one. Are you ready?
Oh my God. Okay.
I need a sip for this one.
Oh God. Okay.
You gotta picture this. Washington is on the clock. Suddenly the helmet changes to the Vikings. The Vikings select Jaden Daniels. Shortly after the pick is made, compensation is revealed. The Vikings give up pick 11, pick 23, next year's first, next year's third, pick 123 this year, and Christian Darrisaw.
Well,
We have Jaden Daniels.
What?
Yeah. Now, where's the pendulum swing on that one?
That's going to take me a second to even wrap my head around it.
It might be what it takes to get to 2, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Oh, wow.
A lot of negatives going on here in the comments. Everybody's like, no.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards negative. Like, no, yeah, that's way too much. Way too much. But who's our quarterback? Who's going to be our...
Jaden fucking Daniels is our quarterback.
No. If we don't go that. So, okay, sorry. Okay. No.
Viking Funeral's not trading Darrisaw. He says David Henneman says I'm an idiot. Wow.
Sammy.
I'm saying, like, here's the thing, though. Everybody's saying no, and that's fine, and it's true.
Yeah.
But you have to make the Commanders move off that pick, right? They need a quarterback too. It's not like some drafts where the teams that suck already have a quarterback in place. Like these guys need a quarterback, so you have to give them enough to move them off.
Yeah.
So you have to give up that much. But
yeah, no.
What do you think?
Do it.
Where's your pendulum?
Negative. It's done. We roll with Sammy D, I guess. That's
Well, I mean, you can. Right. I agree. That to me is a very negative. Is a very negative pendulum. But to get to 2, I think it might take something like that. Like an unexpected player is thrown into the mix to get there. Because how else are you going to get there?
That's true. Yeah, I think that's probably what it would take.
And there was something I saw that the contract negotiations that have happened that maybe they've been started. Darrisaw is the one that's been started. So to me, that was a little bit of a tell. And I mean, I know I'm sure he's going to be a Viking. I expect him to be a Viking long term.
Right.
But to me, that's why I threw him in there. But
yeah,
I think to do that, to get to that point, you have to give up a shit ton. So
yeah, that would be not good.
Well, no one wants Lewis Seen.
For Lewis scene as a bonus. Yeah. Get
That
rid
would
of-
probably end it. Will give you a little scene deal off. No, not interested.
Oh no.
All right. Well, that puts a beautiful bow on this episode of Horned Up. We are 2 weeks from the draft. Thank you, Miss Alissa. Thank you, Scolisi, for hopping in here and filling in for Onebar. You did a fantastic job. I hope you enjoyed it.
I had fun. Thank you for having me. This was awesome. I appreciate you.
Boom. We appreciate you very, very much as well. Everybody give her a follow. She hit 5,000 followers on Twitter today. Boom. It's so exciting. It's huge. And also, guys, when you think about that, remember this. A recent report in the news had a 76-year-old man in New York. He was recently bitten by a toilet rat and was hospitalized with organ failure due to the bacterial infection that resulted from the bite. I've never taken a shit in New York.
That's terrifying.
It's super horrifying.